Well, hey everybody, it's HeapCVA. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a new week. Nice, warm, really warm as in hot Monday for us, where I'm at. Here we are and into the flames. Even though he posted some new news, my intent was to come to this game, early access game, and do a video on this anyway. But a couple things popped up yesterday. He put build 2.4 up. It offers a new engine, a new fire station, etc., etc. I strongly recommend that you go to Steam and have a look at this and read. If you haven't been lately, read the info for build 2.1, 2.2, and 2.4. He's also posted, since I had fooled around with the game earlier today, this July news update. I have to congratulate him as well on selling over 850 copies of this game so far. That's a good thing. It really is a good thing. I hope he continues to succeed because that keeps bumping up the chances that this game is going to be a keeper, if you know what I mean. And I can't wait. He's doing so many things on this, the little bit different things he's doing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he pulls out of his hat next, because you never know what he's going to do. He didn't really say he was going to put a new engine in the game, other than the ones he had shown in his video on YouTube. So let's stop talking about that, because I know all of you are capable of reading on your own. You don't need my help. And I don't want to look over your shoulders, so to speak. So let's fire up the game. And this is one of the few games that I can start out of Steam, and the load time on it is prompt. It moves pretty quick, and I really appreciate that. Those of you that own Emerge NYC, in its early time, loading was one of those things. Now, I'm not bagging on Emerge NYC. They've come a long way. Good, bad, or indifferent, they've come a long way. That is a video for another time, right? So here we are at the start screen. If you remember the video I just put up a few days ago, a lot of things have changed. They're in build 2.4a. Notice that the start screen on the left-hand side has changed somewhat. And so let's click on online, offline. It used to be the single player line. And notice that you have what I consider the multiplayer sign-in screen. And there's nobody online right now. But if I click on this, what I've read, and I have tried it out, and so far so good, is that you can keep the number of players to 1, meaning yourself. Then you will not have anybody sign in, obviously, because the system won't allow another person. And it gives you the opportunity to do some stuff on your own. One thing I had not showed you, and it's my fault, I always forget, I'm going to do it right up front, is this talk about map selection. There's the fire station that we see quite a bit. I think that's station 3. Here is a house fire where it actually starts you on scene. I've seen this in some YouTube videos with people. A warehouse fire, which I will save this for another video this week. And the barn fire, which I've actually fooled around with a little bit myself. At the point in time I was at this fire on my own, I obviously was way over my head as far as what to do, because there's no hydrants here. That the house was on fire the period of time that I was there. And I couldn't figure out how to get water out of anything, because you can check all these other apparatus out, but they don't do anything. I hope that's changed. So anyway, here we are back at the free roam map. And the reason I want to go there because I want to show you what he was talking about. So I'm going to launch offline. Like I said, loading into this game is impressive. I try not to do that very often. Of course, it'll make a liar out of me. See? Here we are. Give it just a split second. Now you come here and you're like, well, wait a minute. This is what we saw before. Except I think they took the letters off the fire station. They didn't, but... So if we hit the tab and we go into our responder list, notice we're not assigned. That's about right. CAD is empty. So in the fire stations, notice you have 2 now. We were at 3 all the other times. There's the rest of it's loading in. And now we have station 2. And all you have to do is up and down on the arrow keys and you can switch which station you want to log into. And we are going to log into station 2, which is the new one. I'm going to teleport to it. And here we are. Now this is the industrial area. I don't know if I've driven you through it or not because there was nothing going on here, so there was no reason to be here. I did see that there was a building here. I was wondering when it was going to get implemented into the game, and here we are. I'm going to back up a little bit because that diesel noise really drowns everything out in my ears. In fact, that's way too loud. You can't see that, but I can. All right, so we have a brand new Class A pumper. Delightful. That's a Pierce lookalike with the, I can't think, it's 3 letters. I can't remember what it's called. They're beautiful fire trucks. And it's the first of the regular type of fire engines that I've seen. I was hoping he would do something like this, almost like he's reading my mind. This one here, I believe, is the heavy rescue. You just walk up to the side, and that's the compartments. There's roof ops in this. There's special ops. And so it's a good unit to have if you don't have the ladder truck with you. So I heard the alarm go off. Well, we'll go ahead and get ourselves assigned to that. What did I do? I hit the wrong key. Still getting used to this keyboard, let me tell you. The keys are a little shorter, and I am somewhat dyslexic, I guess. So let's get in our brand new fire engine. Turn the lights off. I'm still not used to shifting. One thing I will tell you is that this thing is loose. As you go down the streets like you're driving on ice. And I'm pretty sure that there's no snow. And so it takes nothing to go completely sideways. And the rear end is just, it reminds me of some things I did when I was in high school that I probably got a ticket for. AKA fishtailing. The brakes aren't very responsive. And if you hit a curb with this thing, it's like you hit the side of a mountain. Other than that, everything's okay, I guess. So I'm pretty sure we're coming into here. I just got to figure out which of these houses it is. I'm trying to stop. I think it's the one at the end of the street here. I am getting used to this whole not having the game capture the back of the pumper as you drive. I am pushing down as hard as I can with the stop button. And wow. Anyway. So, got the usual things to do. One thing I do right away is I can actually, with the hose in my hand, grab the hydrant tool and carry both to the hydrant. Why I hadn't thought of that before, I can't actually answer your question. However, it does make things, when they work, this happened to me last time too, that I couldn't get the hydrant to turn on no matter what I did. And it might be my fault. They might have punished me for having the hydrant out. I don't know. So watch what I'm going to do, because as I told you, I got as much hose as I need. Make sure I don't get hit by a car. Hopefully I can hook this up here. Get a little closer. Yes, this hydrant is functioning. You could actually say that was real life, because early on in my career, sometimes people would fool with the fire hydrants and render them no good. And that really puts you in a bind. So I can get up here. There's the remove all. And I'm thinking that a good thing to have, because I'm all by myself, is we're going to go to station 2. I'm going to teleport. Here I am. I'm not, one thing I tried to do, and I actually couldn't get it to do it, I couldn't figure out a way to do it, is teleport myself to station 3. Because I'm guessing, and I don't know, I'm going to have to ask him. If I am assigned to station 2, can I spawn an engine from, like say I want the truck? Well, that's at station 3. Do I have the ability to spawn that? And if I can't, can I change my assignment so that I sign in at station 3? Is that the way to get it done? If you guys know before I ask a question, let me know. Because certainly there is a good reason to have either or. I'm getting this rig because it's at my fire station. They're about equal distance from this incident. So this has got a couple of other items in it which are interesting, that I don't think the alarms or the incidents exist yet. So let's get out. So he's here. Whether I use him or not is a whole other set of stories. Come on. Don't hang up on the fire engine. First things first, this back. Let's get a ladder and throw it up over here. I do want to see something because I didn't do it when I was playing earlier today. Is theoretically this rig, because it carries the roof ops, I have, I can't get him to, here he is, I have a chainsaw. Theoretically, if it'll let me cut a hole in the roof, I actually don't remember if it will or not. Because notice this doesn't turn yellow. Oh, it did. Oh my goodness. But it's still doing that. And so see, I can't fall through the hole. That's one thing. Earlier today, I was ventilating with the chainsaw in the 2-story homes, and no smoke comes out of those holes. And you think, yeah, well, but it's not taking the pressure off of where you're fighting fire. And so, you know, you're still in a heavy smoke condition, which isn't going to hurt your character, but, you know, it would be nice one way or the other. Obviously, if I had more people, I'd be assigning people to all kinds of things. There we go. None of the doors were locked. Go this way. All the windows are open. And you would be putting ladders up on even a structure fire like this anyway, so it's not a big deal. So now we can get rid of that. Go to the tailboard here. There's your hose, just like in every other piece of equipment. And we'll go in and try to make relatively quick work of this. We'll mask up. I think this actually does have some effect on the... Notice how the flame's kind of backed up? I have been fooling with this a little bit. As far as its control of the fire. And, you know, I'll take it for what it's worth. I might have just imagined the whole thing. I hope not. I noticed that when the stream gets a little out of shape, if I click on the right button, it brings it back to center. I don't know if that was intended or if that's just the way it seems to be working today. Can't tell you for sure. I was just slowly doing this type of pattern with the nozzle. I've tried a couple of things. Going up into the ceiling. In real life, you'd be shooting a stream up there. Not a lot, and with a smaller straight stream, just to take a little of the heat out of it. But if you did it too much, you'll bring the steam down on your ears. And I'll be honest with you, I've been burned both by being steamed like a lobster. That's what we made the joke about when it happened. That before we had the stuff, or the Nomex hoods or PBI, whichever ones you have. Yes, I did the job before we had cool things like that. My first helmet was not very fancy, and it was made out of polycarbonate, which is the same stuff that model cars are made out of. And they could melt in quite amazing fashion. And they didn't have ear flaps or anything. So you used your ears as a kind of a thermometer. And so before we had the hoods, we got a lot of this time it happens when we go into somebody else's jurisdiction to back them up, or they come into our jurisdiction on a fire that's bigger than the 3 engines that we had where I worked. And sometimes kind of things would get crossed and you'd have opposing hose streams, and out of that we got steamed pretty good. I don't have any scars from it, which to me is amazingly lucky, but I've also had things come down on us or get knocked down. I had a semi-collapse and knocked me to the floor. Oh, shush. Knocked me to the floor. The overhead stuff, the ceiling members, the joists and stuff like that, they came down. Some of them were still burning and knocked us into them and went through our turnouts. And I honestly, yes, both hurt. The steam burn was more painful after the fact, if that makes any sense. Now I'm going to try something here that I was trying earlier today in the one-man fire department I got going on here, because I believe this carries a fan. which is nice. Many fire departments do not have a ladder truck, and so they use another vehicle, much like this one, to bring truck-like equipment to the scene of an incident where, for the most part, they don't have the need for a 100-foot ladder or something like this. I want to see if the fan will blow the smoke, out of the house. He had talked about, he had addressed that, and honestly, as I'm standing here, I sort of still see it. So, cool pumper, interesting, very large rescue. But as I look in the building, and yeah, in real life it would definitely take a while. And theoretically, the hole in the roof would be functional, which it's not yet. When I played this back ladders earlier on, and maybe it's a difference in which branch I'm on. And so in the next video I do, and I'll probably do another one because of the sheer volume of new things that are coming out, he's actually adding more quicker than flashing lights is right now. And so it makes sense to bring that info out as soon as possible. But little things like this, and it might be because I'm in the regular branch, I'm not in the testing branch, and I'm not seeing some of the stuff we're talking about. One thing I do know is that I struggled a little bit to spawn certain vehicles onto the scene. And I don't know what I was doing wrong. I have figured out that, especially when there was only one fire station, if you want to spawn something else besides what initially shows up when you sign into the station, just remove them all. When there was only one fire station, it was a little easier to do. And then you can spawn whatever you want. And that's how I got to see all the other new equipment better than probably the first time I think that I was saying I must be doing something wrong. I think I was. It's a system that's going to have to work itself out. It's definitely made for more than one person. So we did quite a bit of stuff here. So as I think this is the only piece of equipment that's still semi off the equipment, or I've got hose to deal with. It's too bad he couldn't have bought us one of the fans that has a little dolly on one side, so that you just roll it like one of the suitcases with the dolly wheels on it. Let's see. I gotta go get the hydrant wrench. But wow, he's really stepping and fetching. Holy cow. Must be in good shape. Oh, no. No. It's not letting me turn the hydrant off. Darn it. I don't know why it's doing that. This is the second hydrant in this tract that has done this to me. Because I have the hydrant wrench in my hand. You can see it. It's right there. And it's not reacting. And I knew he said something about this earlier. I think he thought he fixed it. It's likely going to be one of those things that, you know, for every new thing you do, something that worked before is now officially broken. I've seen that a lot. So what I'm thinking about doing here to see if it works is sending these particular rigs. I don't know which one is. That was my pumper. And then this one should be the other one. It's not letting me get rid of this one at all. If I remove truck, that's not it. Fire station, remove truck, exit. Notice it's still here. So that isn't that great. Although now it won't let me in the fire engine. Maybe it thinks it's gone and it's not really gone. That could be interesting. It's like somebody locked the doors on me because he didn't want me driving. I can get hand tools in and out. That's perfect. So let's teleport to station 2. And here I am. Notice there's nothing here. Maybe I can spawn. That's not the button I meant to push. Spawn truck. I don't know which one's engine 1 and engine 2. There's the little guy. Let's see if I can spawn another engine. No. So, you know, this is going to be an ongoing thing because I wonder if there's a way to name the vehicles so that, especially when you have 3 engines and you call them all engines. And I get that kick. I deserve to be kicked, but no. Please don't kick me. I am not sure if it would make it easier or not. So I can take off all my stuff, which is good. But I'm trying to think of what else. I'm going to exit. That's not what I'm looking for. It's the Q button. I'm going to quit out. And I've got a little bit of time left. And I'm kind of curious about this. I think spawning is going to be one of those constantly evolving things. I'm going to launch on a map to see what happens. Just to see for ourselves, what can we do, what can't we do, and kind of what to expect. It's going to expand what I'm doing as far as trying to check everything out. I get so locked into doing the firefighting, I forget to do everything else. Now I got a lot of smoke, sort of some smoke. Is there a fire in this building? Oh, there's a small fire in there. So, there actually is a fire. That helps. Can I get equipment? I can. This is cool because when I came into this map one other time, I couldn't do that. Oh, I see fire overhead. This is actually, so we got that open. We do have fire showing. Look, we got a pool. I could break some windows while I'm at it. There is no back door, apparently. No big deal. Wonder if I can run through the tree. I can run through the trees. That makes me special. Let me remove that. Exit out. I think I better open up the garage. Let's see if there's any equipment on here. There is. That's awesome. Like I said, last time I came in, for some odd reason, none of that stuff was available to me. And he is definitely, there's no sparks or anything, but he certainly is doing what he's supposed to do, and the fire's right in my face. There's an ambulance down there. Is that what is that? That's an ambulance. Is that going to be in the game? Ooh, that would be pretty cool. Alright, so I think that, let's see if I go here, you do the outriggers, get that all set up. Okay, operate ladder. Not exactly where you'd want to be to throw a ladder right up against the power pole. Hopefully it doesn't shock me. That's not necessarily a good thing. I think I'm on this side of it though. That does help. Oops, how did that happen? Can we get back up there? That was embarrassing. I want to get the ladder up. Let's see. It's like I'm floating in the air. Like a magic carpet. And I can come here. I want to do the ventilation. Beans were... I just want to see this go into the roof a little bit. We know we're here. Wow, that was cool. Yeah. Get out of E. For some odd reason, it caused the thing to jump. That's cheating, but that'll do. V. I'm kind of stuck on the ladder. I wonder... There it is. Ha! Just got to be smarter than the guy operating the thing. Back. Roof ops, chainsaw. Now we're going to choose climb ladder. Now he's one of the first, and somehow or another the ladder got moved again. Darn it. Hopefully it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. There's one of the openings. And so, pretty cool there. So we have a black square, but at least I see smoke actually coming out of it. Ooh. I can see right through that. Now in real life, you would never walk cross country, if you will. You follow rafters and significant construction points so that you don't fall through. But I'm not sure I can get back on the ladder. Can we get back on the ladder? We're stuck. That's a problem. It's going to hurt. Oh, see? I told you it was going to hurt. But apparently we're okay. All right, I need a hydrant. Now I've got to be the engineer. So E. Hand tools, hydrant tool. Hide that. What do I got? I guess I gotta empty my hands. There we go. Equipment, HeapCVA, back, hand tools, hydrant tool. I just need to hide that thing just for a second. And then it's got a little bit of a kink in it, as we would say in the fire service. Hand tools, hydrant tool. Let's go get us a hose line. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to force you guys to sit here and watch me put this whole fire out. But at least now you see that there's some other things we can do that gives you a chance to use a couple of the things that you're assigned to right away. So I kind of like that. So while he's just squirting off into nowhere, it's time to, I don't want this thing to run too long. So let me call it here, and we will, that actually really doesn't do anything. I found out the hard way. I'll get this made into a video, and we'll get it posted tomorrow. And stay on my timeline. So far so good. Although, like I said in the last video I uploaded, uploading videos on a weekend is just one of those things you got to live with whatever happens, because you have zero control over it. So that being said, hope you had a great day, great evening, wherever you are on the planet. We'll bump into each other in the next video. So I'll talk to you soon. You guys take care.